Collective, welcome to another music channeling. Please say what resonates. Today's song for today's reading. Let's see. It's Diet Pepsi. Okay. I'm doing readings back to back because I've been away. If you knew, you would have noticed, but I've been away. The people on Instagram have noticed that I've been away. Um, Something about law and order. Maybe somebody said lawyer. But yeah, I say this to say I got this song on the 15th of September. That could be relevant. Libra, aesthetics or characteristics could be relevant. Jordan, 2024 could be relevant. That's when the song was released. That could be when things went off between you guys. You guys were together. Something about being mentally shaken up. Okay. I feel like you made a huge impression on them or vice versa, but we'll look up the lyrics because this is not my type of music. As in I don't listen to the artist. Okay, I tuned into the tune. Here we are. So my boy is a winner. He loves the game. My lips reflects off his cross gold chain. Okay, so maybe somebody is a Christian. Christianity could be relevant. I like the way he likes telling me my ass looks good in this ripped blue jeans. My cheeks are red like cherries in the spring. Body's a work of art you would die to see. Okay, untouched EXO, young lust. Let's okay. When we drive in your car, I'm your baby, losing all my innocence in the back seat. Okay, so this is a risque, lustful energy. Okay, so another sexual song. However, what I'm turning into, this person could have also made you fucking mentally unstable, or vice versa. Another toxic relationship. But I don't feel like it's that deep. I feel like it's more so like you like the crazy, they like the crazy. Okay? So something about sangria. So Santeria is basically a practice from South America, Latinx countries. Is a subgenre of hoodoo, from the African countries. Okay, it's basically magic. It's supposed to be used for light magic and for the earth, connection with Gaia. You know, connecting with the ancestors, but a lot of people use it for dark. Okay, hence why it has such a bad rep. So when you hear voodoo, Santeria, hoodoo, there's a lot of negativity from it, especially if you're religious. But the entirety of those practices is to serve the ancestors and earth in its whole. Okay, there we go. So somebody might be into that. So for you that is watching this message, what's relevant based on the cards? Okay, I guess somebody wants you to be in their backseat so you guys can have a sexy car ride. I don't know. That's what the song says. So we got this one here, reverse lightning. And we got this one here. So somebody was acting like they didn't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't mess you. But they do. I don't know what they do. I'm getting into like they miss the old you, but they also love the new you, but they also miss the old times. Okay, I guess this time around they want to be healthy, want to be good. The thing is that they're not saying anything or they're holding this back. The reality of this is that they don't want to be friends. So if you coming in with this like let's be friends bullshit, they're not here for it. at all. And this might be why the ego, the toxicity might come to play. If you are doing magic to persuade your free will, I feel you will pick up on this. If not, just ask your spirit team, and if you are religious, pray to God, and you will get an answer. Okay? Anything else? This person knows that you're single, you have other options, and you're having fun. But I'm also tuning into they want to have fun with you again, in the sense of let's be toxic together. Okay? Now, the toxic together or the crazy together, it doesn't mean that they want to cause you harm. They just don't want the cookie cutter white picket fence type of life. They want it to still be an example I can mention is the Joker and Harley Quinn. Okay? But healthy. So that's that. Anything else based on the cards for somebody's name's Olivia. So we're gonna pull a card for Olivia. There's definitely a disconnect between you and Olivia, or between Olivia and you. There will not be any forward movement from Olivia. There will not be any forward movement because somebody is still trying to figure things out or working on something. Okay, so if you expect them taking action towards you, that would not be the case. Or vice versa, because somebody still needs to figure something out. I feel like somebody's doing research, or they're occupied with work. There could be relocating happening. Okay, but somebody's feelings are very detached. Okay, somebody could be an air sign, male. I'm also channeling Scorpio, so Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini could be relevant. The thing is this, somebody's still holding on to the past. I feel like it's nostalgia, it's the memory, it's the what we used to have, the living in what used to be. I will say this though, somebody's definitely stalking. Somebody's definitely keeping an eye, but it's stalking in the sense of like, I have your social media, I'm keeping up with that and anything you do, but they're not gonna go as far as keeping up with your friends or visiting you at your door, causing you distress or harm. Okay? So that is your message, and I want to say thank you guys for watching. Your go-to card for watching for this person. Remember, you're wealthy and you're prosperous. Okay, and what else? Remember, you're beautiful. Okay, and you're beautiful. It's true. All right. Thank you for stopping by, and I don't think there's an extra reading on this. So, until next time. I know it's quite short though. Hold up. Let's do letter initials. Fun fact, this is how I used to do my readings back in the days. They're like 10-minute max because as somebody that's intuitive, don't need 20-40 minutes to do a reading. I also don't have time. But yeah, first, middle, last initials. I think I'm extra intuitive right now because of the full moon. That's in Virgo. So first, middle, initial. Somebody's a Leo. Somebody's a Leo. Leo placement could be relevant. Getting another text. Hold up. You might get a text from a Leo. Sorry, I'm like a part. I think this is also relevant. I'm a part of this Discord for a fandom, and the entire thing had like a mental breakdown. I was also going through stuff of my own personally, but I just found it so interesting because there was like this Discord, real ass Discord between the founders and the staff members, and it took such a mental toll on everyone. But it distracted me from what I was going through personally. So I say this to say, I feel like there's so much chaos right now between you and your person. It might affect your guys' connection, but I also feel like in a way you will find peace in the chaos. Okay? Message. Okay? I say this to say somebody could be Danish. I'm saying Scat. Okay? Somebody could be Danish. That's like a lover or dear one, and I'm tuning into somebody like having a crash out, crying. Like if you meet a person or if they meet you, there's gonna be a discussion where somebody's gonna cry and be like really crashing out. I'm also thinking about a lot of references, but I'm thinking about the show The Summer I Turned Pretty, and the relationship dynamic between Belly and Conrad, and how Belly was, when they were younger at the beach during the 70 or 80s party, she was like, why didn't you say anything? You know, why didn't you tell me how you felt or something? And she was like, I would have fought for us. And he was like, I thought you knew what was up with me, what was happening. But she couldn't read his mind, okay? And from there, they never got together until like 5 years later or 4 years later, according to the show. Yes, I was very invested. Personally, I'm very invested, okay? But yeah, I feel like that could also be relevant. The dynamic where like somebody didn't speak up and it was too late, and then years go back and they still reminisce, and then you meet and there's gonna be like a crash out. It also reminds me of the Notebook scene, right? Where Noah and Allie, they were kind of in shock when they saw each other. Then they, had the little trip around the house. They had dinner. They went on a boat ride. And then all of a sudden, she was like, why didn't you write me? And then he was like, well, I wrote you for 7 years or a year every day of 365 days, whatever, for a year. It could be a crash out like that in the rain, or a crash out like the Billy and Conrad situation on the beach. Nonetheless, when you guys meet, everything's going to be like, oh yeah, it was like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 17 years ago, we're cordial. And then someday, at one moment, somebody's going to be like, why the fuck didn't you write me? Why didn't you say anything? So, for some of you guys, a crash out is relevant, okay? Let's continue. Somebody could be tanning right now, or they are looking very tan when you're going to meet them, or somebody needs to tan. Something about tiramisu, teriyaki. Somebody could be a gamer. Santa Monica could be relevant. Something about being indifferent. Sagittarius. Something about being awake or having difficulty of sleeping, or they sleep a lot or they don't sleep at all. Something about TikTok. All right. Something about remembering something. So, on that note, collective, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I know this was a little bit longer than... I know this one was a little bit longer. So, this one also says Diet Pepsi. We're going to look up the symbolism for that. Maybe somebody's on a diet. Okay? As a millennial, this remind me of the Y2K era when I do feel like somebody is a little bit depressed or having a hard time eating or have like maybe body dysmorphia. Not because of the diet part, but because of the depression. A lot of people tend to eat less when they're sad. Some people, they tend to eat a lot when they're sad, okay? So, this is your message. I do also feel like somebody wants to console you. There's so much miscommunication. Going back to that Discord that I'm a part of, with this specific fandom, like a lot of things could have been fixed in 5 minutes, but it took like hours and nothing was ever resolved, and there was like so much ego and power plays going on and a lot of deflecting. Now I don't know if this is the case between you and this soulmate, but I did say you guys love the craziness, so a miscommunication could also be relevant between you and this specific soulmate you're watching this reading for. Okay, it's like you want to say a lot, but there's also fear and there's also ego at play. Collective, until next time, have a great Sunday. Keep on namasteing.